of the most important things that a person does during a round that they play is approach the green from multiple angles. Now, approaching the green is a science that can be complicated, but it can also be simple. By approaching the green well on any course, you will be sure to have more opportunities to score well, and ultimately, your scores should improve greatly. So, on today's episode of Project 1%, I will go through the foundation of what I'm building my upshot routine off of. So, in today's video, I'm going to be starting by throwing at around a range of, I'd guess, 150 feet, slightly downhill, and discussing the ideology that I have so far on the upshots. Then we will pick multiple spots on the course here at Woodruff to practice this ideology. To create my ideology, I have come up with 3 S's that I should abide by for throwing my upshots. We'll start with the first S, and that is simple. The basis of simple is one angle shots. Hyzers are your friend. Stable discs are your friend. So when I discuss simple, there's a reason that approach discs are called approach discs. They are meant to be stable. They are meant to find the ground, and they are not meant to go far. So one angle shots can include hyzers. They can include just anhyzers. They can include flat shots. What you don't want, in my opinion, is your hyzer flips. You don't want your um, really overstable panning out shots often, but it is important to just make everything simple. Now, again, when you think of simple, there's another thing that you can think about. The circle itself is 66 feet in diameter, 33 feet on each side of the basket. Now, that is a huge target area, but if you think about it as only you need to get to the basket, you need to get near the basket, it really closes in on where you want to be. When really you should aim to be inside the circle at all times, and that is a huge area relating to all other parts of the game. Now, here you'll see simple. We have a giant toe in right here. Should just be nice little hyzer. Just past the basket. Just needs to go a little bit slower. But again, just slow, simple hyzers. That one's a little bit short. Now the idea of simple is really easy to work on the forehand because it's really easy. Just pop a forehand, one angle stock shot for a forehand. All inside the circle. Now, a simple should be your first train of thought, but often the greens that you face on any disc golf course will often have danger around them, behind them, in front of them, whatever you think, and you don't want roll away potential. And sometimes those hyzers, those simple shots, can get out of hand. And that's where the second S comes in to the equation, and that is safe. You want simple and safe shots to get to the basket and be able to stay near the basket and not roll away. So an example of that is just your common slightly understable putter, just popping it flat, letting it carry straight, popping it a little bit nose up, and it will just carry and then sit because the nose is up. It's very slow, and that hyzer angle will not want to pop the disc back on a roll angle. Same thing here with the Envy. A little bit of anhyzer, a little bit nose up, just floats down to the basket. Now, this idea of safe can also work on the forehand. And that's where the idea of forehanding your just regular throwing putters and not your approach just can work. Put them on a little bit of hyzer. They kind of float, even though the tailwind stand with that one up a lot more. See? That one's a good one. Then it comes down to Anheuser forehands. They finish a lot more flat. And the third S is really discretionary, but in my opinion, you want to be smooth. Simple, safe, and smooth. Smooth really encapsulates your form. You want still a full swing. You want a full swing both ways to where, you're still getting to the basket, but you're not going too far. You're not, tempoing up. You're not tempoing down too much. You're just having a nice smooth swing to where you still get to the basket. So with the three S's discussed, simple, safe, and smooth, we're now going to go onto the course, practice some situations where you will need to use those three principles. So we are here right before the crossing the stream of hole 1 at Woodruff. So we want to go through our three principles. Simple. You have the forehands, and you have a backhand and hyzer. Those are the two most simple shots that you really have at this basket. There's a straight shot. It brings those trees much more into play than both the forehand and the anhyzer will bring in. Safe. There are rocks around the basket, and there's OB to the right of the basket, but it's kind of back towards us and to the right. So it's not really that scary of a shot. It's not really that consequential of a shot if we just go the forehand or just the anhyzer. And then smooth, we can really just have a smooth swing out there. It's only around that 150, just past 150 style range, I guess maybe around 175. So we can just have one smooth swing to end up down there. Deep really doesn't matter. So we'll start with some anhyzers, then go to some forehands. That one's up there. Committed inside the circle. Now we go to some forehands. For this, you can just set up right here, throw a pure hyzer, and be really completely fine in what you do. A little bit sawed off. That's the smooth part. You still got to be committed on these shots. Did it again. Guess that's something I need to work on, is still committing all the way through these shots and releasing at a good point. That one was more committed. A little bit juiced though, still inside the circle. Nose up, hyzer, around the basket. So to the next spot, we are on hole 4, right before the hole really drops off and starts to get near the basket. We're, say, around 200 feet out. But it's so downhill, what makes it scary is that your disc can hit and keep on going forward. So the idea that I want to explore, or just try to show here, is that you can still hit, edge of circle, almost into circle 2, and still kind of skid up to the basket. And you got to keep on putting this idea in your head that the circle is ultimately 66 feet wide. And you just got to hit a circle that has 66 feet in diameter. So most simple thing here is going to be just a flat Luna shot, like literally flat Luna shot, and it gets up there, and you want to be just past that tree, right, the kind of skinny tree right there in the middle. You want to be landing just beside it. Your disc will skid up into the circle. Wind held that one up. You see, it was skidding forward. I'll try to show the same thing here with the zone. It's a little bit straighter. So I'm going to try to throw this into the ground. The nose down is going to make the disc go faster. So you just want to throw into the ground, kind of have it skid forward. See, it still skidded forward after I hit it down there. Moving on, we have a shot on hole 9. This is just after the initial drop off. There's a little ledge right here, and if you hit one of these early trees, you could end up right here. So, first we think simple. You can go dead straight on this. You can just throw a hyzer on this, end up at the bottom of the hill. What you don't want to do is go deep. So you can throw backhand, you can throw forehand, whatever you want here. You just don't want to go deep, and you don't want to be super short. Now, safe. This is a big slope going back uphill, throwing the shot. If you hit this on the wrong nose angle or you hit it on some hyzer, it has a big opportunity to get on a roll angle and then roll back down. So a good idea on this is try to match the nose angle of the hill, or match the angle of the hill with your nose angle. So this means throwing a backhand nose up or just throwing it flat to where it will skid up to the basket. And again, you can just throw this kind of short of the basket, it will skid up to the basket if you try to hit just outside the circle or just slightly inside the circle. Try to be smooth, little small run up to try to fix my timing here a little bit. Now this left a little bit, pops up the hill, and it's inside the circle. Now with this Envy, we can work it kind of the same way as the Luna, but to be safe here, if you want to be extra safe and you're able to throw the shot shape, throw slight and hyzer with the nose up. It fights out late and it kind of falls onto the hill, and it's not really driving into the hill, so there's no real chance of it popping back up on a roll angle. See, like that, it's going to fight up the hill. That's inside the circle. Now that right there will wrap us up. I think I've covered all that I need to when relating to upshots in this video. If there's anything that you take from this video, I want it to be the 3 S's, the 3 words: simple, safe, and smooth. If you can build your ideology off of that, you can have a good upshot game. And of course, it doesn't need to be those exact words. It doesn't need to be those exact ideals. Do what is the most comfortable to you when it comes to your game. But I personally think it helps if you can live by those 3 S's. If you're interested in getting a shirt like this or a hat like this, go to flippydiscoff.com. Check them out. And if you're going to buy something from them, use code RWEST71 for 10% off at checkout. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Project 1%. If you want to check out the entire series, check out this playlist right here, which has the rest of these episodes. If you want to check out my most recent video where I discuss my rated rounds up through June of 2024, check out this video over here. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.